take a look at this website. So this is like a website that you might see back when the web was first invented. So this, as you can see here, this website is basically just a document. It's literally just a text document, like an HTML document with some CSS, and it's extremely basic. You can't do, like, it doesn't look fancy, and it doesn't have very much functionality to it. So nowadays, people are doing more like this right here. So this is our website, and it's built on WordPress. See, there's more functionality here. You can actually click around and things, and the UI elements respond. There's it's a little more dynamic. It's definitely looks a lot better, right? But you can notice here, like if I go to the home page, I mean, it's actually pretty fast. But a lot of the WordPress sites, you'll notice a few seconds of loading time. Like they're not necessarily super fast. Also, they're sort of limited in what you can do, even though you can do quite a bit with them. You can see here, it's not like this is groundbreaking, like as far as the style. It looks pretty good, but ultimately you can kind of see how it's really just like this, but a little bit more fancy and with a little bit better user interface, right? So it's a text document still. It's still fundamentally the same type of thing, even though it looks nicer. Now, the cool thing for those of you out there who are actually interested in a website, right? You're actually looking for a website, but the thing is, you don't just want any website. You want a website that is literally as good as it can get, and maybe even you want your website to also be a web app. Take a look at these websites right here. So these websites are actually web apps, and so this is one example, and here's another example. And what makes these web apps is that they are actually built with React or a framework like that. They're built with fully custom code. So basically, what you can do, they're extremely fast. You can feel the difference. I'm not sure if you can really see it as I'm scrolling through and clicking through things, but I can definitely feel the difference as I'm using this. It's a lot more responsive, and you can have a lot more animations. You can see all these animations that are built in here. Basically, what these companies have done is they've actually built their websites using React or a similar custom coded framework. And that's actually what we plan to do ourselves in the future, like Kelson was saying. And that's because you have full control over how everything looks and works. And you can also add a login or any type of functionality to these that you want. And you can even have users log in. Like, if you have, like, let's take another example, Notion. So Notion, as you can see, they have a login button. I mean, it's fundamentally the same type of thing. You go to a website, but the difference here is that when you click login, you can actually do things, right? So it's basically a web app and a website built into one. So in the future, the idea is that websites will be mostly web apps because everyone's going to move towards something like this, because probably the platforms and the pre-built solutions for producing these types of custom looking or custom feeling web apps are going to be a lot more available. Like, people are going to be able to more easily just do this without needing a full development team necessarily. And also the advantages of it are, like, as users expect more and more functionality, they expect everything to be more custom, then it starts to make more sense that people invest in stuff like this. So I just wanted to show that as an example of a few different websites and web apps. Basically, the idea is that they do merge into each other, and you have the technology could be the same to build a website and a web app, in which case you have a custom website, or you can stick with something like WordPress for your website, which also works. For most people, that's what they're going to do, is they're just going to stick with WordPress for their website. And then if they need a web app, they'll build it with, React or something similar to that.